The BRICS Summit has been taking place in Kazan, Russia, and with new members bringing the expanded grouping to 11 countries, together they now cover 43% of the world's population, a population that is mostly young, particularly on the African continent. So, what voice do the youth have at large multilateral forums like BRICS? Well, one person who's at the forefront of youth participation in BRICS agenda is the founder and executive chairperson of the South African BRICS Youth Association, Raymond Matlala. I spoke to him about BRICS from a young person's perspective. Raymond Matlala, thank you very much indeed for joining us on the BRICS Africa Channel.
Thank you for having me, Peter, and good evening to the viewers at home.
Raymond, the BRICS Summit is currently underway at Kazan in Russia. I just wonder, from a young person's perspective, what youth issues are on the agenda or should be on the agenda?
Yeah, look, I mean, from us, it's really about exchanges and collaborations around education, skills development exchanges, employment opportunities. As you know, South Africa is facing some high levels of unemployment. So last week when I was at the BRICS Business Forum, there was a discussion around a platform for matching employment among BRICS member states. So determining the shortage in number of countries and where there is a surplus, so we can work around. So those are some of the discussions we expecting from the youth side, of course, and maybe lastly is around also collaboration and skills transfers and exchange in ICT and technology-driven sector.
Raymond, you've talked about, I think, the wish list. Tell me what opportunities do exist for young people within the BRICS framework.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of opportunities that exist. So the BRICS Youth Council, which hosts the BRICS Youth Summit, is one of those opportunities where it provides a platform with a focus this year on 5 thematic issues, which is education, innovation and technology, health, and social cohesion, actually, volunteerism and social work among the BRICS member states. So those are some of the activities that the BRICS Youth Summit has covered. But there's also the BRICS Young Scientists, the BRICS Youth Energy Summit. Just last week, we also hosted the BRICS Solutions Awards. So there's quite a lot of them. I think what we're trying to do from the South African BRICS Youth Association perspective is that how do we keep a repository of these opportunities so that we can share with young people across the board? And we know for now, because our membership is online driven, so we know that we are not reaching those that do not have access to internet, and we're working on that through the ambassador program.
You've mentioned quite a lot of BRICS youth initiatives. I do wonder, though, if when we start talking about the main room, what we know is that a lot of young people feel a little bit disconnected when it comes to big global forums like the main BRICS Summit. How can you make that kind of gathering more relatable and connected to the youth?
Yeah, look, I mean, again, let me speak about the model that we use in the South African BRICS Youth Association. So on an annual basis, we host a number of activities. We've got bilaterals and we've got multilaterals. So each year we host a bilateral with all the member states. And this year, since 2022, we've been hosting bilaterals with Brazil, Russia, India, and China. And in the next couple of weeks, we will be hosting one with our final one for the year with Russia. We also host the BRICS Summer School. And this year, particularly this year, we did what we call Model BRICS. And we simulated one of the topics that were discussed in Kazan Summit as a preempt, which was the use of local currencies. And what that simulation did was to actually simulate what actually happens in this summit. So it brings them closer. And again, the BRICS Summer School, where we talk about introduction to BRICS, and so the cultural festival, Africa BRICS. So there's a number of programs that which we host. And I think lastly, what I want to mention is that this year we've managed to get accreditation working with our partners at the University of Johannesburg to offer a short learning program, an accredited short learning program on BRICS starting from next year.
I think you've sort of partly answered my next question, but let me ask you anyway. How does the BRICS collaboration help with dealing with unemployment and skills development? Because what we know is the most unemployed are the young in our countries.
No, absolutely. I mean, we were looking again. I was at the BRICS Business Forum, and I was attending the working group on skills development and technology. And one of the presentations that we made there was, how do we bridge the gap of unemployment among the BRICS member states? And of course, South Africa is the highest in the member states. And what was presented is that where there is a surplus of a particular specialist skills and technical skills, and where there is a shortage, how do we encourage exchanges? So there's currently a development of a platform, an online platform that has been developed through the working group on skills development from the BRICS Business Council to facilitate that process. But also, even with us from our platform, next year, 2025, we are launching what we call the BRICS International Virtual Internship Program, where we want to expose young people to acquire skills in different nations, working with a number of nations. Just to give you a methodology, so a South African will be placed with one of the member states, and some of the member states will place their colleagues here in South Africa, where the South African BRICS Youth Association will host them. And therefore, we can do that skills transfer so that even when they get jobs in those particular countries, they are able to cope with that.
Tell me a little bit about perhaps fostering leadership, because young people are the upcoming leaders. I dare say the future, but I would actually suggest that maybe even now. How is the BRICS framework making sure that leadership starts to come through from young people?
Yeah, look, you're correctly right. I always say youth are the present and the future, because this thing of only the future it's a myth. We actually the future, I mean the present and the future. So what BRICS has done, and last year during the South African chairship, was to establish the BRICS Youth Council. And in that BRICS Youth Council, for the first time, the leaders of the South African chapter were able to brief and present our findings and our recommendations to the head of states. And that platform had now opened up, and it's happening now in Kazan, where the BRICS Youth Council colleagues and leaders are there and presented to the heads of state. So in that way, it started to revolve. And also, in a number of BRICS chapters, like your BRICS Business Council, BRICS Business Women Alliance, and think tanks, BRICS Civil Council, there's a huge element of youth. For example, in South Africa, the chair of the BRICS Business Council said, look, we want to have representative of youth in all the working groups. The BRICS Business Women Alliance said, out of our working groups, we want 4 to be led by youth that are from the South African BRICS Youth Council. So that is already coming through within these chapters and the spaces of BRICS.
What advice would you give to young people in South Africa and other BRICS countries that want to engage and participate in and maybe even contribute to the BRICS mission?
Yeah, look, I would say they should join the BRICS platforms, the young scientists, the BRICS Youth Association. And with that, what we're trying to do in all the member states is now to have working groups of the BRICS Youth Council, and they can engage with their respective working groups. But also as the association, the South African BRICS Youth Association, which allows full membership for all South Africans between the ages of 16 to 35, and also allow associate members for all other Global South youth. They can join our platform, and within our platform, they are able to engage with a number of activities and our counterparts in different countries.
And perhaps finally, I know that you're doing great work with SABYA, and I just wonder what upcoming initiatives do you have in terms of trying to enhance the engagement with BRICS?
No, absolutely. I mean, we look, as we close off the year, this year we will be hosting the BRICS for the first time for the BRICS Cultural Festival in November. It will be an online event, and we've got the bilateral with Russia. But 2025 brings in a lot of exciting news for us with the launch of the BRICS Skills Program, short learning program, which will be the first of its kind to provide introduction to BRICS on a NQF level 4 in partnership with the University of Johannesburg, as well as in partnership with the Durban University of Technology. That will be a 6-month program at the business school. And also we will be launching a number of activities such as the ambassador program. As I've said, we do not have access to youth that don't have internet. So we're going to be appointing youth with social capital that can translate some of the work that we do to those that don't have access to these facilities. We are also going to be launching a number of programs, including our annual programs like your BRICS Summer School, the BRICS Youth Innovation Summit, Africa BRICS. Those will still be on the agenda. But quite interestingly is that South Africa host and is going to chair or preside over G20, which is the group of 19 countries and 2 European Union and African Union. So as South Africa takes up that challenge, we're also going to be playing a significant role in that space within the Y20, which is the Youth Engagement Group, within the C20, which is the Civil BRICS, the Civil Engagement Group of the G20, as well as supporting the W20, which is the Women 20 in that space. So there will be quite a number of activities where we will require young people to volunteer their time to get exposure in international affairs, and particularly BRICS and the G20 for the 2025 calendar year.
Raymond, we wish you the best of luck with these initiatives and continue to do this great work. And we hope that your collaboration with youth and other BRICS nations brings some collective benefits to all of our youth. Thanks so much indeed for joining us on the program. Founder and Executive Chairperson of the South African BRICS Youth Association, Raymond Matlala. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, Peter.